about changing locations and shit. Man, get into this motherfucking bag. Stand on the way I made. Sacrificing time for this shit. Man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago. They ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool. I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace. I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend. We should try again. You been on my mind. You should hop in. I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl. You know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I hit the bay, you know I think of you. Working on your brand, love, you know that I.
Yeah, it's Goddess. And I'm a day one type of girl. Ain't nothing wishy-washy over here. I don't jump around, stick to one side. Yeah, the silver, the blue, we got them in their feelings. That star on the field, come pay the D a visit. They say it's hatred, is it? I call it hate and simping. Cause if we wasn't that hating, they wouldn't be in our business. Listen, West Coast say the water tastes better. The fan base go harder, and all the ladies get wetter. Yeah, that's how it is when you straight reppin' for Dallas. We get it in the trap, and landlord tell us what's happening. No explanations in no shape, form, or fashion. When Henny drop the stats, ain't nothing else to be asking. Them numbers don't lie, that's why your argument dry. And we still got them rings, you got your eyes on our prize. Whether an eagle, a giant, or a commando, you in the parking lot crying, we in the Lambo. We stay in our bag, we run it up in the draft. You still talking about the 90s, so who's stuck in the past? Get off me, and I'ma need you 6 feet back. And we ain't hearing nothing till your team beat that. And we ain't scared of running, what you thought we bleed that? It's only one team over here, this Cowboys, believe that. Yeah, this you got is the poet. Big up West Coast Cowboy, HTM Sports, and Landlord from Alabama. Y'all check them boys out. Now don't play around with the Cowboys content. Yeah, and you know it's DC. Yeah, DC4L.
31 teams in the NFL. His system is designed to stop 25 teams.
Shit, I need a linebacker that's over 200 pounds. I need a defensive tackle that you got to pull away from the buffet. He's gone, so no.
Let's talk about that.
But yeah, that's a large part. That's a large part of your
I gotta
team.
make this point because I ain't gonna lie, I forgot about it until you mentioned it. So I gotta get this out before it flees me, and the nation needs to hear this.
What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Henny Demore reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. Wish it was a victory Friday, but we had to hold that motherfucking meat L last night. It is what it is, but you know, we're gonna talk about it, man. So good morning. And it's early, but shit, it's the weekend now, man. It's 6 o'clock somewhere. So get you a little bit of wine, get you some orange juice. We're gonna make ourselves a damn me mimosa or something, man. We're gonna talk about this damn Dallas Cowboys, and we're gonna get drunk off the content, man. Yo, Eddie, what's good with you? Said open the liquor store early. We need it. Overall, we did good. Overall, we did do good, man. But you know, I don't believe in moral victories. I believe in fatalities. You know what I'm saying? No moral victories, only fatalities is what I believe in. So, you know, the Dallas Cowboys did not get the job done. There was ample opportunities to win this football game. They played, and listen, let's walk through everything that happened over the course of the game. Jalen Carter was ejected before the first defensive snap. You know, spit on Dak Prescott. You know, all kind of stupid foolishness because he's a dumbass, immature dumbass. Almost cost his team the game. You know, then, you know, that he might have reprimand from the league going forward. Who knows? But, you know, yeah, Jalen Carter got suspended before got kicked out before the game even started. Then they had another gentleman that got hurt, you know, on the first play. He got carted off. We held Saquon Barkley to under 70 yards rushing. Devontae Smith only had 3 catches for like a handful of yards. A.J. Brown had 1 catch. The Eagles committed all kinds of penalties. and you fucked around and you still lost the game. So I want to, not sell you a dream. I'm not trying to compartmentalize anything. The facts are you were not good enough even when the Eagles were bad. Making stupid decisions, emotional decisions, on the Eagles' part. Not executing well enough. Right? Passing game, getting their two primary threats involved. Didn't do that too well. Saquon Barkley didn't really get loose. I think his longest run was like 16 yards or something like that. So, there was a game the Dallas Cowboys should have won. But listen, the thing that prevented us from winning, poor execution. Dak has very few faults in this game, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get them out the way. He underthrew the ball a couple of times on a couple of plays down the field that could have been, possibly touchdowns. Not the one where Ferg got decapitated, but the one before that, definitely could have been a touchdown had he put a little bit more air on it, just a little bit more air on it. You also had another big throw in the middle of the field to Brevin Ford. He slightly underthrew that one, but overall, Dak had a very good game, but he did miss like one or two throws that could have changed the outcome of the game. You know what? Because real is real. You gotta speak on that. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, man, Dak was great throughout the rest of the game. A couple throws that he wants back. But overall, if I'm just giving a grade, I still would give Dak like an A or a B. You know what I'm saying? We're finna talk about CeeDee Lamb in a second. We're just going through the overall things. Red zone turnover. And when you talk about the old sayings, man, you got to win the turnover battle. You got to win time of possession. And it's really like cause and effect. We don't need CeeDee Lamb to make some of those catches if we get into the end zone right there. So Miles Sanders, he should have walked his ass back to Dallas. You know what I'm saying? CeeDee Lamb and Miles Sanders probably should have been side by side, walking their asses back to Dallas, after what they did last night. Said our cornerback shut down A.J. Brown. That's a good thing from last night. And listen, the film dropped. The All-22, dropped this morning. So it's going to give me an opportunity to check it out, take a look at it, see what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was rough, dog. It was definitely rough out there. But he said that fumble by Miles in the red zone. Shit, tell me about it. Yeah, the fumble by Miles Sanders was fucked up though, man. But I'm finna go ahead and pull up some stuff real quick, dog. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk metrics. Gonna get my live reaction from this shit, and we gonna thug it out, man. We gonna thug it out. Hold on. All right, so this is something I was trying to pay attention to. So they got the defensive line snap breakdown, because we were all curious about who would play, how many snaps. Because they made Mozzie Smith, a healthy scratch for this game. I'm not sure, why or what was the purpose of it, but that's something that they did. So because of Mozzie Smith not being an active participant in this game, also Diggy Zua had 41 snaps. He's the defensive player on the defensive line that had the most burn, 41 snaps. Kenny Clark had 40 of them bitches. Sam Williams had 39. Marshawn Nealon with 29. Dante Fowler with 27. Solomon Thomas with 25. Donovan Izaraku with 21. Jay with 20. And then you got James Houston with 9 snaps. But in 9 snaps, James Houston made a whole bunch of plays, dog. Like James Houston had a big negative tackle for loss on Saquon Barkley. He had some pressures. So listen, man, I gotta take my hats off to Lou, because he was saying the shit after preseason. He said, "Hey man, as of right now, give me James Houston. James Houston needs to be the one out there having a handful, having more snaps than Donovan Izaraku." And Donovan Izaraku is a raw rookie. He had first round talent. He got a great upside. But Jordan Mailata had that boy in hell last night, dog. Jordan Mailata had that boy in hell last night. He said wasn't impressed with Fowler either. Yeah, you're gonna have to take a long, hard look at your defensive line, your pass rushers, and you're gonna have to, you got to get more out of them, man. There was too many times where we fought and clawed. Cause listen, the way that the Eagles play offense, they always stay ahead of the sticks for the most part. So when you do get them in third in obvious passing situations, you got to be able to generate pressure with your front four. Now we started, blitzing and dropping zones behind it in the second half, and we had success doing that. But just sending a 4-man rush, we could not do that shit. We were not being successful just rushing 4 against the Philadelphia Eagles last night. Matter of fact, hold on. Hello? What's up, man? Man, old ass nigga, I got you. We gonna have a special guest in the liquor store, man. Hold on. We gonna have a special guest in the liquor store, man. Let me bring Cuzzy in here. And listen, y'all appreciate the content, man. Y'all go ahead and hit that like button. Y'all hit that share if you care. And because the All 22 film has dropped, I won't be able to show it on regular YouTube, but I am going to go ahead and do a film breakdown on, my members only stuff. So if you are a member, you'll be able to see the film breakdown and stuff. If you want to see me break down the film from this game, and highlight some of the things that I liked and disliked, join, get you a membership. Like you super chat, it really ain't no difference in between sending a $10 super chat. And you get all that extra content. All the film work is going to be for the members. When we get into our college bag and we start talking about prospects, all that's going to be for members. So, yeah, doggy. Just, you want to see that, join, become a patron in the liquor store, man. It's you join the same way that you send a super chat. And I don't be busting heads over here, dog. I don't be busting heads for nothing. So for just $10, really $9.99. So for just $10, you get extra shows, you get extra content and all that stuff, man. So, do your boy solid and come join the liquor store. And we're gonna try to get Weston here. He said the defensive tackles played well. Osa, Kenny, and Solomon. I think that they all did play well. I'm gonna have to review it. I'm gonna have to take a look at the film. But from my memory, watching the game, because I was running back and forth in between the computer. Because listen, this is really what happened. Because I could keep it 1,000 with y'all. I was watching the game on my computer at first, so I could sit up here and just be on the show and talk while the game was going on. And then all of a sudden, my stream got taken down that I was watching for the game. So I didn't have time to unhook everything, adjust everything, and get it set up in the room. So I had to, talk to y'all during commercial breaks, run back when the game was going back on. When it went on commercial on my end, I popped back in and chop it up. So it was sort of rough yesterday, man, but we held it down. I appreciate y'all for thugging with us, and I thought the show went pretty damn good regardless, man. Well, Michael Autry, what's up with you, man? Hey, Santiago, Jake the Great, Special K, C. Burleson, Lexington, Craig, Special K, Internet Junkie, Joe Chanchina from Italy, not China, Vandal Jackson, League Commanders. What's up with you, man? I appreciate y'all for sliding in and rocking with your boy. Himothy, Eddie Russell, Camo, Chuck B in the building, man. Salute to you. Oak Cliff, what's up with you, man? Yeah, matter of fact, Dak talked about Spitgate too, man. Dak talked about it. He said, like, He said he was offended that this nigga thought that he tried to spit on him. Like Dak said, he spits on the field 1,000 times during the game, man. You know what I'm saying? He said he spits on the field 1,000 times during the game. He said he really felt offended and disrespected that this fool would even think he was such a thing. Hello? Nigga, that was sort of rude. What's up with you, Jay Bryant? K Faith in the building. Yeah, man, the drops were killer, man. You know, CeeDee Lamb had about 4 of them bitches. You know, CeeDee Lamb had about 4 drops. And I say about 4 drops because I don't know if they're going to count the throw on 4th down as a drop. You know, it should be, in my opinion, right? It should be, in my opinion, because of the kind of wide receiver CeeDee Lamb is, the ilk of the ilk he is. You know what I mean? Like it was a hard catch, but you know, you got to come up with it. You know, that's why you make the big money. You know, Dak Prescott got to stand in the pocket and make hard throws. We expect that of him as a $60 million quarterback. CeeDee Lamb got to, you know, come up with tough catches. That's what we expect of you as a $34 million wide receiver. And, you know, in the instance of Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, the money match. Like, I don't expect anything different from Dak Prescott than I always seen from Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is an all-pro quarterback. He makes tough throws. He makes aggressive throws down the field. That's what got him paid. CeeDee Lamb is an all-pro wide receiver. He plays through contact. You know, he got great hands. You know, that's what got him paid. So I don't expect anything else from my guys than they already do. Say something, Wes.
What's up with you, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the question was. What was the question?
We were just talking about the game in totality, man. Because they were talking about Lamb. I said Lamb just gotta be Lamb, man. You know, you gotta come up with tough catches. You know, it's nothing that you had. He'll be back. It's something that he has done throughout the course of his career. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that I don't expect him to do it, but you know, like he played like a hoe. If we being honest with me, man. Like I'm trying to be politically correct about it, but Lamb pissed me off, man. Like I love CD. He gotta make those damn plays, man.
Yeah, he do gotta make those plays. He definitely do. He definitely does gotta make those plays. And you know, I would have, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like I know I didn't. I freestyled this game. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't about to try to sit up here and make you sound like I watched a whole bunch of film on this game because I didn't. But I do know this: the Cowboys' path to victory is this. Hey, turn the music down just a little bit in the background. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is, Cowboys' path to victory is pretty much the same year over year. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much the same. You know, and it don't really matter. But I will say this: Dak came to play. CeeDee Lamb did actually come to play, man. He made some really good plays. He had a really good ass game too, man. It's just those next level plays, we needed those. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna shit on my dude, but like he did come to play, man. He just didn't, he didn't execute. It did not execute the way it was supposed to. Like dropping the ball, bro. Like that shit is like, I don't know, bro. That shit is weird, man. It's like it doesn't matter. There are some problems in life, bro, that like they're like health problems. It don't matter if you rich or poor, fool. Like you know what I mean? Health don't give a damn who you are. And that's how drops are, bro. Like, nigga, you could be in 9th grade, you could be 10th grade, you could be a sophomore, junior. Like, when you get a case of that droppies, man, that shit is no bueno. So, you know, one thing I know for sure is the easiest way to get that out your system is to catch more balls, man. Ain't really nothing you got to catch more balls from the dude that's throwing the balls to you. So, hope, this week, they definitely throw some more balls. But I mean, CD Lamb is going to be judged on his ability to have a bad game and come back. You know what I'm saying? Or what fans would consider a bad game, bad moments, and come back off of it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what really makes him an 88, man. Obviously, him making those catches makes him an 88, but him having the ability to come back from crucial moments, from not being able to deliver in crucial moments like that, and being able to, make those next plays, that's what also separates him from being one of the better receivers in football. So, man, I ain't gonna let nobody put this whole game on CD, man, because CD did his thing, bro, until we needed those extra moments.
I mean, I'll say this: the entire game is not on CD Lamb, but he was a big factor in why we could not come up with the win at the end. Because when you're,
absolutely,
so,
absolutely,
and that's fair to it's fair to put it like that, because we
because you got to think the boy had over 110 yards when he dropped the pass. You know what I'm saying? So it's like CD did come to play, man. It just sometimes, bro, like I don't know, when you coach, it gives you a different aspect of the game, bro. Like, and folks be like, oh, he just didn't want it. No, the motherfucker did want it. He did want it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that shit just it doesn't matriculate. You know what I'm saying? It don't matriculate. So, I mean, and I'm going to be honest with you, man, like the way this game was played, man, it just felt like a game that we could win, but we weren't going to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just felt like this was a game that the Cowboys could win, and we showed the NFL that we can play on this level, but it just wasn't going to happen. You know what I'm saying? The Eagles were, you know what I'm saying? The one thing I would say about the Eagles, what I say right now is, I'll say they're a better coach team than the Dallas Cowboys right now. Shotty did his job as far as play calling, but coaching and play calling is two different things. You know what I'm saying? So I think Shotty did a phenomenal job calling plays, but there was moments I think that we could have did a lot better, man, as far as, especially like on defense.
Cuz just went out. But, to Cuz's point, and I think I do slightly disagree with him on this, because I think in terms of Shotty, I like most of what he did conceptually. You know what I mean? And to Matt Eberflus's, hold on, and that's a huge one there. Before that though, let me see if I turn you down so see if it dissipates. Okay, yeah, it was echoing. All right, but yeah, man. To my point about Shotty, like he was great play calling in the first half, and it was execution in the second that really derailed what the Dallas Cowboys were doing. But then again, if you draw it up, you get your guy open. The throw is there. You just gotta come up with the ball. Like a lot of this shit is execution. You know what I mean? And matter of fact, this is the way I looked at it. The Dallas Cowboys offense was like a A in the first half, and the Dallas Cowboys defense was like an F, and then the Dallas Cowboys offense was like a C in the second half, and the Dallas Cowboys defense was like an A, because I think the defense only gave up 3 points in the second half. So the defense made proper adjustments. They started blitzing Hurst and dropping zones behind it. You know, they matched his athleticism with some secondary guys that he couldn't so easily get away from. We seen Diggs on a blitz. We seen them bring Elam, if I'm not mistaken. So they did some things in the second half of that football game. You know, to slow up the Eagles' offense. Overall, they did a great job with Saquon Barkley. They held him to under 80 yards. So like they played a good game in the second half. Now the issues I have with the offense is just execution, because the play designs were dope. They used motion. They utilized the play action. They ran the ball. You know what I mean? They were successful running the ball as well. So I do like a lot of things that they did. It's just like execution, dog. Execution. And then, like we mentioned earlier, the fucking fumble.
Eddie, that's why. Hey, that's why. If I feel like if your offense would have played at least a quarter of football together, you might have won this game today. Because their execution, there were things that were just like you could have worked that out in preseason. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the things that we were doing in preseason in the game, we could have worked out. Like maybe some of them attempts to CD we could have worked out in the preseason. So it's like, this was technically half of the game was a preseason game for the offense because it was their first time and they still came out clicking. But one thing I did learn about my offense is they can. I mean, I didn't know them niggas had it in them, but they can get in a shootout with a team. They definitely can, because the execution is really what stopped them from winning this game. Because you got to think, we were in the red zone twice and gave the damn ball back.
And salute to Angie in the building too. Good morning, family.
Miles Sanders doesn't fumble the ball, bro. You get at least 3 points.
I agree with you on that.
And then freaking your damn tight end, this nigga dropped a touchdown.
Yeah, it was rough, dog. They were.
Well, he's not your starting tight end. He's not your starting tight end.
Well, Jake did drop the ball too. He got the penalty called, but he dropped the ball before the boy even hit him. You know what I mean? So I get it. You got the penalty, but you fumbled on the very next play. Like shit like that is some stuff you gotta come up with. That's why I can't say it's all on CeeDee Lamb. A good majority of it is because he ain't the only one that dropped balls. Jake Ferguson dropped the touchdown in the end zone. He got, folk feel bad for him because he got his head taken off right after. But then again, like
Shoemaker dropped one too. He not a touchdown, but Shoemaker dropped a big one too. Dak was dropping it in there, bro. Oh my God.
Man, Dak Prescott, should have had like 300 yards. He should have had 300 yards and 3 incompletions. That's how well Dak Prescott was playing. You know what I'm saying? CeeDee Lamb alone dropped over 100 yards worth of passes if you add it up where he caught it at, and that's not even including yak possibilities. So CD.
Hey, how many yards does Dak end up with? So what's crazy? If CeeDee Lamb comes up with those catches, he probably hits the 329.
Yeah, Dak Prescott probably goes for 329 if the drops don't happen. If Jake Ferguson don't drop the ball, if CeeDee Lamb doesn't have them drops, and if Dak was a little bit better on the 2 seam shots earlier in the game, he can get that damn near 400 at that point. Cowboys go ahead.
I'm just curious, what do they use? What are they going to use? Like, you got to be really smart to try to find a way to say that this was Dak's fault. But if you're that smart, you should be able to know that it wasn't Dak's fault. Dak was the freaking difference, bro. Stubble-faced, 2 kids, bringing his goddamn lunch pail to work. Dak Prescott. I like this new Dak.
Dak been holding it down, man.
I like this new Dak.
The moment wasn't too big. He was out there willing and dealing. And listen, the protection was not always great last night. I know that we've moved people in the run game. You're gonna be a little bit surprised about how leaky, that some of that pass pro was. You know what I'm saying? And he still mitigated pressure. He got away from sacks. You know what I'm saying? Like he turned what would have been like a 10-yard loss on the sack into a 3-yard gain. So like little things like that. Like the moment was not too big for Dak Prescott. He came out there and hooped.
Yeah, man, and that dude, that's like the second time in Dak's career where I have literally seen a dude hugging him, and Dak just gets out of it, bro. Like, bro, and listen to me, like the dude was like the guy who he got up, like he wrapped him up, like he literally wrapped Dak up, and Dak just like dropped his shoulders like a bad kid in Walmart and just squeezed out of his arm and took off running. You know what I'm saying? While I stood in line wondering why Helen won't whoop her.
Why Helen?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, they be looking at black people like, man, y'all too bad on y'all kid, but then y'all letting this little run around like he a terrorist in this motherfucker.
He said, what do the Giants secondary look like? They got one corner. They got a Debo, and that's it. Everybody else is food. Hell, the Debo ain't even a top tier corner. But we'll break down the Giants. I'm gonna start looking at the Giants by like Monday, honestly. Cause
You can't even talk about the Giants shit because you got to see them play. So we can't even talk about
yeah,
the
that's why I
Giants
said
shit.
Monday. Cause they play
Yeah, you got
Sunday.
to
Cause
let
they
them
play
play.
Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. I,
Damn, my ticket is gone, bro. My ticket is
Boy,
busted.
nigga,
Oh my
yours, my
god, my
ticket
ticket
gone
busted.
too. You know we both picked the Dallas Cowboy upset. I picked the Dallas Cowboy upset.
Bruh, that shit just hit me right now. That shit just hit me right now, bro. My ticket is gone, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Ah,
Dak had some great scrambling, man. You know, and listen, he looked like the same Dak we saw in 2023, man. It wasn't like he was, out there doing Lamar Jackson stuff, but he, got enough athleticism left in the tank where he can extend plays and make plays out of structure. And that's all you really need from Dak Prescott. Like the Dak Prescott that
yeah.
runs to make plays down the field is scarier than the Dak Prescott that's trying to run for a first down.
And I'm gonna say something too, man. That's gonna be off subject, but it's on subject. Dak's gonna retire as a fucking Dallas Cowboy. You wanna know
Talk
why?
to me.
Because Dak has shown me that even with old age and old age with rest, this motherfucker gets better every year, bro. Dak, bro, he needs to win a Super Bowl so they can start talking about him possibly being one of the best quarterbacks to ever play football. Because this nigga literally gets better every year, bro. Dak looks like bro. And the cool thing about a game is we're not talking about no athleticism from Dak Prescott. That dude didn't run the ball at all
Yeah, he
tonight.
had one carry.
One carry, bro, and that carry wasn't even a design carry. That was Dak trying to get away for his freaking life.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking everything. You got to remember everything that you're talking about Dak right now. You're talking about Dak, the actual quarterback, the throwing of the football. Jalen Hurts had touchdowns running the football, bro. To be honest with you, Jalen Hurts had a better night running the football than
He
Saquon
did.
Barkley did.
Like, by the numbers, he did. And man, and like, listen, I say this all the time.
And on the final, my bro, I gotta cut you off. The final freaking play of the damn
Jalen Hurts
game.
run.
The who in the hell decides to have no middle linebacker in the middle of the damn field, bruh? Then when he does come, he offsets to the right hand side. I'm thinking in my head, bro, if you're Jalen Hurts, what would you do? Why would you throw the ball? There's nobody in the middle of the field. All the down linemen, remember, there's 5 offensive linemen. There's only 4 defensive linemen. So he knows he has numbers. Bro, you have to know he's keeping the fucking football, bro. You have to know that. You have to know that. And I'm going to tell you, that's the second time the Cowboys, well, this was a long time ago when they played the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore and LVE dumbass didn't fail for it.
Yeah, that was 2020. Dak Prescott was hurt. He wasn't even part of that game. That was one of those Andy Dalton games.
You remember? You remember that game?
It's like some games you remember because they dope. Some games you remember because they traumatize you. And I think that was one of the ones that traumatized my ass.
Oh, 7. Yeah, bro. I'm like, bro, like who does that, bro? Like who does? Why? What are you doing? You're damn near in prevent defense. Like what are they're trying? They're not. I literally said it before it happened. I said, bro, this fool's about to keep the ball and run right up the middle.
Mm-hmm. He did that shit.
And I promise you that was the actual play too. A delay read and take off.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Like, they didn't do a great job of containing Jalen Hurts all night. The running quarterback is still an issue right now. Maybe,
is Russell Wilson a running quarterback?
It used to be. You can't. I can't really say at this point, at this day and age, if he's a running quarterback. But I think he's a willing runner. If you give him lanes as big as you gave Jalen Hurts, I think he'll try and take them. You know what I mean? I think he'll try to take.
Man, you gotta say it like this though. The top teams in the league right now have a quarterback that can do what Jalen Hurts did. Patrick Mahomes can do that. Lamar Jackson can do that. Josh Allen can do that.
Like I said, when you look at our schedule,
like
we got a bunch of running quarterbacks too.
The boy in Washington can do that.
Jaden Daniels
so they
twice.
Don't even have to really be.
You got Justin Fields when you go play the Jets.
Oh
Caleb Williams can run. we play Patrick Mahomes this year. By the way, just throwing that out there. J.J. McCarthy. I know that has no melanin, but he can still run. I know folks don't actually equate him to being a mobile quarterback, but he is. Unless his injury robbed him of some of that. Um, yeah, dog. Even Justin Herbert can hurt you with his legs. I'm not saying he's a running quarterback, but he can move. So
I wouldn't. I mean, the boy. What's the boy? What's the boy? What was the boy from New York Giants old quarterback?
Daniel Jones.
Daniels. What was his name? Daniel Jones. He wasn't no running quarterback, but I saw him drop 76 yards on us one game.
Shit, he had like an 80-yard run against the Eagles one season. Matter of fact, I actually do consider him a running quarterback. That's all he used to do.
At this point, I do
Yeah, that's all he
consider
used
him
to
a running
do.
quarterback.
Now I think about it. Like he ain't the best. He ain't Lamar Jackson, but like he can scramble. He can run. He a pretty good athlete, and they utilize him in RPO. This is how. As a matter of fact, this is our subject. If they are designing quarterback runs for you, you are a running quarterback. This is how I feel about it. If they're designing quarterback runs for you on a consistent basis. Not once every blue moon, but they got a couple of them bitches in there every game. You is a running quarterback, my boy.
I mean, or you can just say it like this: if running is an option in your offense at all, in any form, then you are a running quarterback. Because there are quarterbacks where running, like Tom Brady, running was not an option in his quarterback. And if Tom Brady, if it was not there, what did Tom Brady do? Real football fans know that Tom Brady threw that ball in the damn dirt. Mm-hmm. What are you talking about? Why do you think Tom Brady they say his offensive line didn't give up sacks? Because he had a lot of incompletions. Why? Because that nigga threw the ball in the dirt. He probably the only quarterback in NFL history that can get away with doing that too. Everybody else would have got benched for that.
Shit, he was smart.
But Tom, yeah, I mean, he was smart, but he was also Tom Brady.
He said,
Dak better not do that. Y'all would crucify Dak if he did that.
Indeed. But hey, let me show some love to some of the defensive line players, dog. They had a rough night. But did you know, man, that James Houston only played 9 snaps, but he had the biggest tackle for loss, and then he had a bunch of pressures? Like, James Houston got to play more. I know that we drafted a guy. I know that he got a great upside, but James Houston was hooping. Like, when we needed pressure, James Houston came in and he got pressure. When we needed a tackle for a loss, that boy came in and got a tackle for a loss. So
Yeah, my question is this though: do the Cowboys feel that they played better without Mozzie, or do they feel that they could have used Mozzie tonight? Because I promise you, somebody made a comment about Mozzie Smith in that organization, and it was along those lines. Well, damn, I wonder if we would have did better if we would have had our first round pick out there, or somebody was gonna be like, damn, we did pretty damn good without our first round pick out there.
You know what? I don't really think they had too much success up the middle. I don't believe so, but I have to double check and see, because I know Kenny Clark had a very good day at the office. You know what I mean? So we gonna see. And listen, even if that's the case, you are probably still better on the interior with a combination of Kenny Clark and Mozzie. Like in no goal line situations. Like you mean to tell me that you don't want Mozzie Smith and Kenny Clark side by side right there? And that's a bunch of human beings to be trying to move.
Especially on that tush push.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you don't think that Mozzie helped you on the tush push right beside Kenny Clark? You don't think Mozzie helped you in the red zone? You don't, like, you ain't got to even play Mozzie a whole bunch. When I looked at that snap breakdown by the defensive lineman, like there were guys out there only got 9 snaps. There were guys out there only got 20 snaps. Matter of fact, Jay Tower, the boy that was playing in Mozzie's place, the 7th round pick out of UCLA. Jay only played 20 snaps. You mean to tell me you don't trust Mozzie Smith with 20 snaps? Because that's all they gave Jay. You mean to tell me you don't trust Mozzie Smith with 20 snaps? 20 snaps. You mean to tell me 20 snaps of Mozzie Smith ain't better than 20 snaps of Jay from UCLA?
And my thing is this too, man. I hope the Cowboys know this dude's mental state too, because, bro, some of these dudes, bro, you be benching these dudes. putting these dudes on national blast, and these dudes gonna be coming back from that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I hope the Cowboys really this little experiment. I hope he was really hurt. That's all I'm hoping.
He wasn't hurt. They didn't say anything about that boy being hurt.
Well, yeah, man. They should honestly, bro. At this, I mean, I don't releasing him. It makes no sense. But you should definitely try to get some type of trade for him because you can't tell me that he's a confident football player right now.
He had nothing to be confident about. They always are vocal about how much they don't believe in him. Like you shouldn't be confident after that. You know what I mean? And this is off subject too, but
because if you don't think you Mozzie Smith versus the Philadelphia, if you don't think you win versus the Philadelphia, you don't need him.
Yeah, and listen, I spoke on this before. You know, then we'll talk about some of the offensive play design. Mozzie Smith does not fit what the Dallas Cowboys want to do. Like, if you remember the Rod Marinelli defenses, that's really what Matt Eberflus wants to do. He wants his defensive tackles to get upfield and penetrate. Pause. But Mozzie Smith does not do that. He's just a regular space eater. You know, he takes up two guys up front, and you know he's trying to help the linebackers play clean. You know, that's why a guy like Kenny Clark enticed him, because he can knife up the field, he can push the pocket, he can get penetration, he can be a upfield disruptor. You know, that's why Kenny Clark was given the job without, you know, them ever seeing him, you know, in person. Like, Kenny Clark came in and he was the starter day one, the moment that they traded for him, because he actually fit the scheme what they want to do. So if you don't see Mozzie Smith, you know, fitting into what you want to do here defensively from a schematic standpoint, you have too many holes on your team just to have a first-round pick deactivated, you know, on game day. You may not get what you want for Mozzie Smith, but if you can turn Mozzie Smith into a fourth-round pick or a fifth-round pick or whatever you may turn him into, or if you can turn Mozzie Smith into a real running back, you got to do that shit. You got to do that shit.
At this point, you basically aren't playing him because you don't want him to have bad film, I would think. Like, you almost feel like him not playing is more of a benefit than him playing. So at that point, I'm pretty sure he don't want to be here. You have shown that you don't want to be here. And if he can't even get activated on game day, that means there's no one even pulling for him. There's no coach that's like, hey, man, we got to get some snaps. Like, come on, bro. First round pick, bro. You can't just give up on a first round pick. Like, at least get a kid 10 snaps. And then think about this, man. This is the one game where you would need Mozzie. Like, this is the one game where you could be like, yo, like, you let him play this game and then you deactivate him next week if he don't play good.
And do you really know what's telling?
But right out the
do
gate,
you want to know what's really? Do you really want to know what's telling Wes about the Mozzie Smith being inactive, bro? Do you really want to know what's crazy about that shit? Perion Winfrey Perion Winfrey didn't even fucking play. They were already down a defensive tackle and said, fuck it, we still gonna deactivate Mozzie Smith. They were down a tackle and still didn't let Mozzie Smith get no fucking burn. Now that's fucking telling.
I mean, you ain't doing nothing but killing the nigga confidence now. Just let him do it. Let him go. I mean, try to see if you can get something for him. If you can get a better running, if you can trade him for a straight up player, you'll probably get better upside off of getting a player versus a pick. You need to call up a team that believes that we just suck at what we do.
He said Trey Tolbert, he doesn't want to be here anymore. I ain't gonna say he don't want to be here no more, but he was fucking up. Like, you fucking up, cause he ain't blocked nobody on that screen attempt. You know, like you already are not. You didn't contribute anything in the passing game, and then you were one of the reasons why the motherfucking me screenplay did not work. You ain't go out there and block nobody. So
I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question before I get up out of here.
Go ahead.
Is George Pickens, is he mad, happy, or indifferent right now?
George Pickens. Shit, I don't think he mad just yet. I think
He said
indifferent.
yes, yes.
I think indifferent because listen, they were in the game. He had a big hit. He had targets. He had like 6 targets. It only showed 4, but he drew 2 penalties. So like he threw that Prescott throwing 2 balls down the field. He got PIs on 2 balls. He had four other targets. So he got about half. He got about a half a minute looks at CD Lamb did. So moving forward, you would want them to connect on a couple more balls. But this man first time in your crib. You know what I'm saying? This is first time playing with Dak Prescott. In a real football game, man. So I think it wasn't too bad. But hold on, let me get these 2 supers real quick before you leave, brother. They said they stashing Mozzie as trade bait. That's my brother Jr. with the 199, and then he spun the block with another 199 for your mind. He said Houston looked like the best end, or am I tripping? You ain't tripping. Like I said, he only played 9 snaps, and he had tackles for loss and pressures. So if he did that in 9 snaps, imagine what he would have did in 20. But yeah, that's my answer for George Pickens though. Wes, I think he's cool for right now, at this moment in time, because CeeDee Lamb was going crazy. I think George Pickens would be mad if you were throwing that bitch to Jalen Tolbert all game. The shit wasn't working. You throw the ball to CeeDee Lamb, who was taking him under his wing. That's his partner and shit. And CeeDee Lamb, like you said, was on. He just fucked around. I don't think anybody thought that CeeDee Lamb would have 4 consecutive drops. I don't think there's a scenario in the world where you could have convinced me before the game that CeeDee Lamb would have had 4 consecutive drops. Maybe 1, maybe 2. 4 fucking crazy.
And obviously Dak didn't believe it either. That's why he kept throwing him the football.
Like hell no, my nigga gonna catch this one. Oh shit, I'm gonna come back to cuz. God damn, okay, I catch something. Like with every drop, I just felt like Dak Prescott got a little bit more frustrated with the nigga. He said, did our DBs really lock up? Yeah, because you gotta remember, we don't need to act surprised that our DBs played well. Them niggas are all pros. Like, honestly, that's why I said I couldn't wait for Trayvon Diggs to get back. Because when he's on the field, you have one of the better cornerback rooms in the NFL. You got an all-pro in Diggs, you got an all-pro in Bland, and then you got a former first-round pick in Elam. Like you're throwing out three very highly touted prospects. When you talk about it, Diggs and Bland for what they done in the league already, and Elam for what he was coming out. So you got great cornerback there when everybody's healthy, and they're actually healthy right now. I didn't expect it to be this early in the season, but they healthy right now. So I'm not surprised the cornerbacks played well at all. I'm not surprised that they did, because I've been saying that they played good long they got on the field. Yeah, and Hey, Wes, are you still there, bro?
I'm still here.
So let me ask you a question. Because it didn't happen, but it almost happened. Because 2 of the drops that CeeDee Lamb had were almost intercepted. How do you think Dak Prescott would feel with Lamb right now? If the Eagles did come up with one or 2 of those balls.
I would think Dak would be. I don't think Dak is such a pro, man, and I think Dak is human enough to know that he makes mistakes. So I don't think it really changes anything. But I think Dak just has a high expectation of Lamb. So I know his expectation is for him to make those types of plays. Like he's made harder plays look easier. You know what I'm saying? So Dak isn't. Unfortunately, man, Dak had a season where he had more interceptions from guys tipping the ball up than interceptions from him actually throwing the ball. So, Dak has been in this position before.
I agree with you on that part. Like you said, he is professional. His mentals is great. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have flashed the fuck out on Jalen Carter. But he was man enough and a leader enough to know his team needed him. But boy, I would still be beating the fuck out of Jalen Carter ass.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
that's what I think to a degree, like I don't think Dak takes that portion of the game serious. I don't think he takes it that. I don't think you know. You gotta kind of can't serious like that because, bro, at the end of the day, you're a quarterback. You gotta know that it's part of the game plan for them to get under their skin. The Eagles was very very physical at the beginning of the game, trying to push the Cowboys around. The Cowboys did a good job of pushing back, man. Like for a moment, the Eagles was kind of nervous in their own crib. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, like the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, we lost this. The only negative, overall big negative to this game is the fact that you lost the game. You know what I'm saying? Because like you took these dudes all the way to the wire, bro. You took them all the way to the wire, and not only did you take them to the wire, but the things that you need to improve was the reason why you ended up losing the game. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't have any new problems pop up on us. You know what I mean? We didn't have no new check, no. It was the same stuff that's always been haunting the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? The ability to run the ball and the ability to freaking stop the run.
Well, I don't think we had issues running the ball though, Wiz.
Well, not necessarily running the ball, but like I'm just saying, those were always been our two. Those have always been our two big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's always been one of those two. Today, it was the Cowboys was actually winning the time of possession.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't start losing the time possession battle until the turnover in the red zone because they got that's their extra possession. You know what I mean? Because they got the extra possession at the halftime, then they got a extra possession with the quick turnaround in the red zone. And even then, yeah, because they won the time possession by like 9 minutes. They had the ball for 34 minutes and 52 seconds. We had the ball for 25 minutes and 8 seconds. We were 7 of 11 on third down. They were 8 of 13 on third down. They had 62 plays. We had 56. So the play discrepancy was not huge, but they definitely held the ball a lot longer. And then also the Eagles actually lost the penalty battle. They had 9 penalties for 110. We had 4 for 42. Yeah, that fucking fumble loss is the difference, dog. That lost fumble is the biggest difference.
Yeah, it was. Cowboys couldn't.
And
And
even
it's
when you
crazy.
talk about
I,
rushing
I
yards,
I actually asked this question. I said, "Man, do the Dallas Cowboys can we win this game if we force a fumble and we're not able to get one back?" And that's exactly what happened. Like the Cowboys, like we were able to compensate for mistakes of them, but that fumble that shit killed us, bro.
hmm yes, indeed, it did. It did for fuck show killers. Because even when you talk about rushing yards, like we ran for 119 yards as a team without a real running back. Like no, we don't even with how well he played. I'm still not trusting Devontae Williams. So 119 for us, 158 for them, and then you factor in the fact they quarterback. I think was their leading rusher out there, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that shit. Yeah, Jalen Hurts was the leading rusher. Jalen Hurts ran the ball 14 fucking times. Jalen Hurts ran the ball 14 times, bro. Saquon only had 18 attempts. We held Saquon to under 4 yards a carry. Saquon, dog, like Saquon averaged
Yeah,
3 point.
that one hand catch, man, that was freaking crucial on that third down.
Yeah, 3.3 yards a carry. That's it for Saquon.
Yeah, man.
4.4 from Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts was their best runner last night, and that was the difference. That was the biggest difference because we honestly did damn good on Saquon. Knowing what I know, this man had damn near 20 carries and he had 60 yards. Shit.
You didn't give up a 20-yard run plus a plus 20-yard run for me.
Mm-mm.
That biggest play. Oh. So I mean, the Cowboys they did a good job, but for the most part of taking him or just neutralizing him, turning him into a normal player. They did a good job of that. I definitely agree with that. With that.
It's just the quarterback run stuff, man. We gotta either have because nobody just want to spy on guys like that because you're taking guys out of coverage, you know. But I did like their
But when you
solution.
spy, you create a whole different because there's no defense that has a guy watching one guy. So your defense has to be even more better when you spy. People don't understand that. Like when you spy someone, athlete, and put them their best athlete.
Now,
So
I did
guess
like
what?
the workaround. The workaround was just instead of spying somebody, they just bit somebody out the secondary.
Yep.
It was still athlete on athlete, but you know we still had everybody in coverage, you know, and you know you did hurry them up, you got after them. So I think that was a good workaround. Instead of spying somebody, they just started blitzing nickels and blitzing defensive backs.
Because, bro, if you would have put Sanborn on freaking Jalen Hurts, oh my God,
It would have been over.
It would have been over, bro.
That shit would have been over.
And I ain't gonna lie, bro. Sanborn is not ready to be playing a lot of snaps like that, bro.
Man, hell no. Really, dog. What do you think the reason Murray? What you think the reason Maris Leofow wasn't starting the game out?
Because they have the bigger linebackers that actually look like linebackers in front of them. Leofow looks like a fake.
Man, Leofow 240 pounds. They would put that nigga out there.
I mean, 59 did his job. I mean, 59 is a guy that I was not very high on, who definitely won the crowd by me, because 59 played well today, bro. And that's Murray, right? Yeah.
I have to look at the film on that. His grade wasn't great, but I ain't seen his film.
What'd they give Sanborn?
They gave them boys Fs. One had a 20-something, one had a 30-something. But again,
right.
I don't even like PFL, so you know I'm not gonna do them like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I ain't said nothing yet. All right, so Sanborn had a 45.5, and then Kenneth Murray had the lowest PFF grade on defense at a 35.2, and that's from our boy Joseph Hoyt. So again, I'm not no stat watching ass nigga. You know, I'm gonna go look at their actual film.
Why we don't fuck with PFF, because there's no way that they think that Murray had a worse game than Jack Sanborn. There's no freaking way, bro. This nigga Jack Sanborn literally was covering grass, bro.
Then he was tripping over his own feet trying to go make a tackle. Like, yeah.
Oh my God, bro.
You seen that shit too?
This nigga washed himself out to play.
Boy, self-check. Yeah, PFF does suck. Yeah, PFF does suck. That's why I say I gotta go look at them, let them boys play, cause I don't remember, you know, cause I'll be honest with y'all, like they haven't played for me well enough for me to even remember their numbers when the game is going on. So I don't know who was doing what. So that's why I gotta go back and look at the all 22 film. And it dropped early this morning, so when I get home from work, it's an early day. You know, I'll be able to go through it, look through it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm probably gonna look at some of that shit while I'm at work too. You know, I work on, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, man, it's been dope. I'm glad, Wes, I'm glad you had time to come in here and fuck with your cousin early on a Friday morning. Cause I'm finna pack it up and get ready to go make some money, man.
Me too. All right, cuz I love you, man.
Hey.
Never look down at the
you
stars.
Too, cuz. And, hey, you heard, brother. Never look down at the stars up, man. Peace.